Perhaps the biggest contributor to the popularity of side-by-sides is their ability to bring a friend along for the ride. For 2012, Kawasaki is looking to double the fun all over again, with the introduction of their all-new 4-seat Teryx4. Kawasaki invited us down to Brimstone, a ride area in Huntsville, Tennessee. They manage nearly 19,200 acres, featuring over 300 miles of trails and roads in the heart of Appalachia. The trails offer varying degrees of tightness and technicality, providing a great first place to put the new machine to the test. The Teryx4 is nearly all new from the ground up, although it shares an enhanced version of the 749cc engine found in the two-seated Teryx. The 90-degree V-twin engine features 4 valves and single overhead cams per cylinder. To boost performance, valve timing, lift, and ignition timing were all addressed, in addition to a newly designed exhaust. To increase horsepower and reduce noise, the Teryx4 has a new intake system now located under the hood. The cooling system was also upgraded to meet the demands of the larger vehicle. Larger capacity radiator hoses attached to a new larger radiator. A new fan forces air directly over the V-twin engine, providing additional cooling. The Cvt Transmission still features both high and low ranges plus neutral and reverse, but has otherwise gone through some pretty major changes. The Teryx4 is the industry's first model to make use of a centrifugal clutch, which eliminates belt shock and makes throttle control easier. The improvements in power were noticeable throughout the RPM range, most notably in the bottom end and mid-range. At 1,616 pounds, its additional 214 pounds compared to the two-seated model is virtually undetectable. Power is crisp and smooth, accelerating well out of corners or up steep inclines. Overall power is quite adequate, even with 4 occupants on board. The new Cvt transmission works superbly. Engagement is instantaneous and virtually undetectable, allowing you to crawl along with good throttle control in any range. The engine braking system wasn't overpowering, providing a pretty natural compression braking feeling when letting off the gas or cruising down a hill. In low range, you can crawl down some decent declines with little or no need to touch the brakes. Kawasaki ditched their variable differential lock, replacing it with a more standard 2-wheel, 4-wheel, and 4-wheel with differential lock design. A rotating switch on the dashboard selects between drive settings. While the control of the old system was neat, the 3-position system simplifies things a bit and is just as effective. The Teryx4's all-new chassis features a wide-body design, with the frame rails protruding as the outermost part of the body. This protects the body panels from encounters with trail-side obstacles and seems to add to interior room. Kawasaki focused on maximizing rigidity and keeping the larger vehicle's weight down. They started off with a XX style frame. Occupants are protected by a rope-certified roll cage. The use of large-diameter thin-walled tubing aids in rigidity and reduces weight. Newly designed dual A-arms front and rear work in conjunction with new shocks at all 4 corners. The base model features preload adjustable, non-reservoir equipped gas shocks up front and fully adjustable reservoir equipped shocks out back. The EPS, LE, and Camo models all feature fully adjustable reservoir equipped shocks at both ends. The new suspension package delivers 7.8 inches of travel up front and 8.3 inches of travel out back. Kawasaki added a torsion bar to the front of the Teryx4 to help prevent front-end dive. All of the Teryx4 models except the base model feature electric power steering. Their EPS system uses wheel and engine speeds plus steering forces to determine the amount of assistance needed. An 86-inch wheelbase is only 10 inches longer than the one on the 2-seat model. An overall length of 125.2 inches is only 8.9 inches longer. The 4-seater is 3.5 inches wider with a width of 62 inches. Ground clearance is good at 10.8 inches. Premium quality 26-inch Maxxis Bighorn 2.0 tires mounted on 12-inch wheels are standard equipment on the Teryx4. They were a great addition to the vehicle's handling and ride quality, rarely demanding the use of 4-wheel drive, even in the slop. Despite abusing them with the throttle on rocky climbs, we never got a flat. It's hard to fault the handling of the Teryx4. Perhaps the coolest thing about its handling is that it goes almost anywhere that the original Teryx goes. Its longer wheelbase adds stability at speed and makes steep climbs easy to deal with. Cornering stability was also quite good. All four wheels stayed planted on downhill off-camber turns, thanks to the front torsion bar. The Teryx4 goes where it's pointed, responding well to wheel input. The power steering models enjoyed light steering, with a noticeable reduction in steering feedback. The EPS was its biggest asset in four-wheel drive with differential lock engaged. For the short time we drove it, steering on the base model seemed pretty light, with low levels of bump feedback noticeable to the steering wheel. One day is a short time in which to feel out a machine and start playing with its suspension settings. The stock settings were good enough that we didn't feel the immediate need to make changes. The shocks have a firm positive feel to them, even when loaded down with 4 occupants. We barely found the suspension's limits on 1 or 2 occasions when fully loaded. With the back seats empty, the ride remained balanced. We never felt the suspension bottom with 1 or 2 riders on board, yet the shocks never became harsh or bouncy. Hydraulic disc brakes up front with dual piston calipers and Kawasaki's signature sealed oil-bathed multi-disc rear brakes slow the vehicle. The Teryx4's interior received some extremely significant updates. The new doors function well. They help keep legs in, trail obstacles out, and are a huge cosmetic upgrade. Kawasaki tells us that the 4 has class-leading occupant room, and we believe it. The new high-back bucket seats were comfortable and did a good job of keeping you in place. Anti-cinch seatbelts were installed, reducing punishment on your collarbone. There's a grab bar for the rear passengers and a nice left-side mounted handle for the front passenger. The right side handhold is mounted on the down tube of the roll cage, not a location we're thrilled about. Storage includes a glove box, dual cup holders front and rear, plus several open stash boxes in the back. The Teryx4 lost some of its cargo space and its dump bed for the 4-seat model. The rear bed can still hold 249 pounds of cargo and can easily hold a large cooler, gas can, and a few small items. A 2-inch receiver offers 1,300 pounds of towing capacity. The base model retails for $13,399, with the most equipped EPS-LE model retailing for $15,199. The Teryx4 isn't just a 4-seat Teryx. It's an all-new vehicle that has been improved upon in nearly every way. We're confident that it would be fun in the dunes and is perhaps the best 4-seat model for the woods. Even if you're planning on hauling 2 people, if cargo bed space isn't a huge factor, we might consider the 4-seat model over the 2-seater. Kawasaki has literally outdone themselves with the Teryx4 and added a very viable 4-seat model to the sport side-by-side market. For more information on the all-new 2012 Teryx4 or Kawasaki's full line of side-by-sides and ATVs, log on to Kawasaki.com.